For more on the global response to ISIL, Jonah Blank joins me from Virginia. He's a political scientist at the RAND Corporation, which also works to improve policy and decision-making for a global clientele. Jonah, thank you so much for joining us here on the show.
Thanks, Elaine.
You know, the human rights watchdog Amnesty International saying the world response to ISIL is, quote, shameful and ineffective. So what is your take? Do you think world leaders are taking ISIL seriously?
I think they are, Elaine. They're taking it very seriously. The problem is that there are no easy solutions in sight. There aren't even any difficult solutions in sight. So in my view, Amnesty is absolutely right. The world community is shamefully failing to step up to the challenge. But in fairness to world leaders, this is a very, very difficult problem without clear solutions.
Talk about the latest ISIL kidnappings. We've been hearing about as many as 400 Christians kidnapped in northeast Syria. It certainly gets a lot of attention, these kidnappings. Is this just another tactic?
It is another tactic, and ISIL, or Daesh as it's referred to in the Middle East often, really seems to be looking for new ways to lure the West into a battle, which is exactly what they want. The taking of non-combatants as captives, as slaves, as ISIL has threatened to make them, is really far outside the bounds of even of Islamic just war practice. This is a clear provocation. It's not merely an attack on this Christian community. It's an attack on the world community.
What do you think can be done to better protect civilians? You know, we understand with the kidnapping, some of these groups are protected, but then you have civilians like these 3 teenage girls in London. Obviously, when there's crossing lines, there needs to be better coordination between countries.
There does, Elaine. And a lot of countries do try to monitor and to keep their own citizens from traveling to Syria. For example, Australia has been very proactive in confiscating the passports of people who they believe are going to join the fight. A lot of Western countries have tried to do this as well. Turkey has been stepping up its efforts, but Turkey is still the main conduit for Western recruits seeking to travel to Syria and join ISIL.
And your thoughts on these arrests in New York City, these 3 people who were suspected of trying to join ISIL. Do you think we'll see more arrests like this? And do you think there are more stings, or what you will, going on behind the scenes that we don't know about?
There definitely is a lot going on behind the scenes we don't know about, and that's a good thing, because these stings are very often what it takes to stop a terrorist attack before it starts. These 3 suspects in the New York arrests, all 3 of them are from the states of the former Soviet Union, Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. And at first glance, this brings up memories of the Boston Marathon bombing, where the 2 suspected perpetrators were both from the former Soviet Union, and they were not caught in time. It's an interesting and a tragic instance of ISIL extending its reach beyond its core constituency within the Arab world and the Arab diaspora, and recruiting among groups that previously had not really been its base.
All right, Jonah Blank joining us from Virginia. Thank you so much for your time. As always, we appreciate you joining us.